want to share something with you that really grinds my gears. And it starts with a personal story because my entire life, for as long as I can remember, I have been told that I am too emotional, that I cry too much, that I whine too much, that I have too many big feelings, that I need to stop crying, that I need to do this, do that. Just stop being emotional. Just stop. That's how you succeed in society. By not being emotional, by being professional all the time, and just strip it away. Strip it away. There's no place for challenging emotions here. If you're happy, that's great. Be happy all the time. But if you are going to be crying, you really need to shut that part of yourself down, because there's no place for that here, Denise. And I was told that like my whole entire life, constantly, to the point where I then started to feel shame around having emotions. And I know I'm not the only one with this. I have supported so many of my own clientele with this specific problem, where they come to me and I send out, obviously before we work together, I send you out a brief questionnaire, and it says, tell me something, about yourself, one of these types of questions, or tell me what one of your goals is. And the number of times I see I need to learn to be less emotional breaks my heart. Emotion shaming has to stop. Let that sink in. Emotion shaming has to stop. Now, people are going to be watching this video and being like, well, Denise, I can't be like crying at work and all of this stuff. And okay, yeah, we are going to have to compartmentalize at certain places, but why can't there be some sort of balance, even in the workplace? Why can't I be professional and emotional? Why can't I be emotional and good at my job? Why can't those two things coexist? Why must it be if you have emotions, you aren't professional? And I think this is part of what drove me out of the corporate industry to begin with, because I had been told so much and so often that I need to shut down my emotions that it nearly broke me, because I was veering further and further away from who I was. I am a Cancer sun sign, okay? I am naturally an emotional soul. I cry at commercials. I cry when I see dog videos, happy, sad, or indifferent. I cry all the time. I can feel so deeply, and I feel the energy of others so deeply because I'm highly empathetic, or clairsentient if you prefer. I feel things so deeply. Like, how can I just shut that down to appease somebody else? And for me, it took so much work, even in therapy. Like, it's like, finally, when I went into therapy, this was a place where I could just fully cry and be emotional, and I wasn't expected to shut that part down. And then through my own journey and in the work that I'm doing with clients, it's like, I want to show you how to be both things, because we aren't meant to shut down challenging emotions. The more we shut down challenging emotions, the more they get trapped in the body. The body is the biggest messenger we have. I say this time and again. If there is emotion there that needs to be expressed, it means that there's something there that needs your attention. There is something you are being called to look at, or it could just be that you saw a sad commercial. But a lot of times, if you're having these big emotions, it's signaling you to something that's going on inside, and it could be much deeper than what the surface situation is. For example, if you have not an argument, or if you have a disagreement with your boss, or your boss comes at you with criticism, and you fall apart and you cry, and then your boss is like, well, why are you crying? There's no place for that, and emotion shames you. There could be something much deeper beyond that your boss isn't even aware of, that maybe you aren't even aware of. But if you continue to shut that emotion down, if you push it down as far as possible, and you don't actually get to the root or the heart of what might be actually there, you're going to wind up, it's going to manifest itself in another way. It could be through, physical symptoms. I see this all the time where, it could come out through joint pain, or it could come out through, heart palpitations or anxiety. It could manifest itself in a physical way because that emotion is in the body. It's energy in the body. It needs to be expressed in one way or another. So that's, in our greater culture, what I am naming cog culture, and you will be hearing that coming up from me soon, is that it strips us. It wants to strip us of everything that is not conformist. And good conformist people that are functioning members of society there's no space for emotion. We just have to go. You have to kind of pare that self back pare that back, put your mask on, your society mask. And I've talked about that before. Put your society mask on and just be a normal human being. Well, guess what? Normal, whatever the heck that word means, human beings have emotions, especially challenging ones. And anytime someone tells me, now I'm actually triggered. When someone tells me you're being too emotional, I'm instantly, and that's something I need to work on. That's something I need to work on myself, because I'm being triggered when people say I'm too emotional. But why am I being triggered? I'm being triggered because I'm so fed up. And for me, this is where I want to come out and advocate, because I need to do something. I need to be able to express this trigger in a way. And for me, expressing that trigger is advocating for a balance between emotions and just, living regular everyday life. There is a place for both. You are allowed to feel deeply and cry and be sad. And yeah, depending on your workplace, maybe you would have to compartmentalize that and, maybe have your big cry at home. But I don't know. I can't feel safe in a space, for me personally, where I can't let those emotions shine through. And, it is very privileged of me to say, because obviously I stopped working corporately and I started working in my own business, and I had that ability to do so. But I know that not everybody has that ability. I'm coming from a very privileged space when I say that. But is there a way that you can find balance where you can have conversations and be open and share, even maybe in your interview? Like, I tend to be emotional. That is one of my strengths, but I also recognize sometimes at work I need to compartmentalize that. But I want to be upfront. I have big emotions. I have this big heart, and make that the balance. And maybe this is just, blue sky thinking. I don't know. But the emotion shaming, even from like a management position, and being like, take the emotions out of it. Don't be emotional. Just don't be emotional. That's got to stop. We can't shut down our emotions. It's going to come out one way or another. We need to find a way to express them. And even if that's, you have to take a few moments from your desk and, go into the washroom and have your little emotional journey and feel through it, shutting it down isn't the answer. It isn't the answer. It's there for a reason. It's a beautiful, beautiful part of you. And you don't have to learn to be less emotional. What you need to learn is to find a beautiful balance and find spaces that allow you to express that emotional side of yourself. Instead of you fitting in, you need to find a place that accepts you truly for who you are. And again, I understand that that's a privileged thing to say, but I feel like there's a place for all of us just as we are. And it's about us doing the work to find it. But yeah, let your emotions fly, especially if you're like me and you cry at commercials. But with that, I hope you are happy, I hope you are healthy, and I hope you are emotionally abundant. And of course, make it a great day, make it a great day, make it a great day. That's me crying and giving myself a hug because I'm beautifully emotional. Let's get to it.